Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever one it happens to be for you. I hope you're well. So I am now recording at half time when the score is 2-1 to Brighton. I am quite disappointed with the fact that the ball over the top, they just seem to be getting in time and time again and looking a lot more dangerous than what we have, which is quite worrying. I feel like that some of our decision making when we're cutting the ball back is been a bit woeful, because we know the keeper's going to come out a little bit and we're just basically kicking it into the goalkeeper's arms, which I feel like has been really wasteful. Yes, we did get a goal back, but I'm not sure if he doesn't change it, if we're really going to create anything much more. We haven't looked great. We've had a lot of the ball, but not really done anything with it. I don't think that we, like I say, looked dangerous. They have looked dangerous and looked like they could score another goal. My fear is that they might score another goal, more likely than us scoring, unless something changes. Will he make changes at half time? That will be interesting to see if he does actually make changes. I hope so. At some point he does, even if he lets them come on for a little bit. I hope that he sees if things aren't going any better, that he will change it up for us, because as I say, I just don't think it's been good enough with that ball over the top. I think that we have been really, really poor. I will say though that I don't think that it's actually been I think that Porro has actually been too bad. I do think Destiny a little bit. He did get back at one point and defend fairly well, but overall, like I say, it's that space that we're leaving that we're letting them be able to do that. So let's hope that Thomas Frank's got into them at half time and he's spoken to them. It doesn't matter about that goal back. It matters that we need to do much, much better in allowing them to have that space. So fingers crossed, and I will be back at full time to give my full time thoughts. So the game finished 2-2. I think that it was deserved. I do feel like that we did deserve a point, if anything, despite what happened in the first half. I think we came out the second half, looked slightly better, and then we looked a lot better, I feel, when Xavi Simons come on and he played in that middle of the pitch role, and I do think it's better for him there. I think that's his preferred position, and I think he does a lot better there. He had a few chances himself to score and failed to do so, but do you know what, I feel like that he probably should have scored maybe one of those, definitely. When it comes to the actual stats, overall it was pretty equal. So we had I think 11 chances and they have 12. We had one big chance and they had one as well. So like I say, I feel like it was it wasn't really that much. Like, we had a lot of the ball, but I think in the second half we definitely had more chances and we looked better, though they still had opportunities, kind of a few opportunities anyway, to actually score. But as I say, I think it is a deserved point, and I do think that when Xavi Simons come on in the middle, he looked a lot better there. I do think that we definitely need to work on our attack, because I do think it is still a bit lacking, I'm going to be honest, and some of our decision making. Also, some of the balls that we did pass, I didn't actually say about the first half, some of our passes were just absolutely ridiculous, giving the ball away, and we sort of in the second half did the same sort of thing where we didn't maybe lose the ball so much, but we did like passes that were not weighted very well, but then the weather wasn't very good, so I suppose that it could be that the ball was gliding a little bit off of the surface. But yeah, I do think that actually Simons was the difference overall in the game, and it's a great point considering that we lost there last year. So yeah, I'm not going to moan about a point away at Brighton. It can always be a tough game, and I'm very happy with the second half of that performance. Like I say, I think we came out a lot better when they did make changes. They did look again after we did score and equalise. They did look like they were going to maybe score, and then they petered out because they had tired legs, and we again then took a bit more of the momentum and looked like we could have possibly scored as well. So overall, like I say, I think it is a fair result to get to the point. We come back from 2-0 down, which I think is good. I think that we were all a bit worried about whether we would have the capacity to do so. If we were losing, especially 2-0, would we drop our heads? And we didn't. So yeah, some silly yellow cards as well, I've got to admit. Romero getting a yellow card, I thought that was a bit silly, and I got a bit annoyed with Richarlison throwing a bit of a tantrum about them scoring and him being hurt. So yeah, a few of those players did get a bit of my nerves on those factors. I hope that Romero keeps himself cool, because otherwise he will end up with suspension sooner rather than later, which we definitely don't want. So I would have subbed him off maybe and put Danso on just in case, but he did manage to get through without making another silly challenge, which was good really. But you know, we've got to be careful with him. We don't want him to be suspended, like I say, sooner rather than later, because he probably will end up getting suspended, but we want it not to happen just yet. So they're my thoughts. Please let me know your thoughts and opinions. Take very good care of yourselves, and we'll speak again real soon.